In exercise 3, you also need to add 2 of the following CSS text and font properties. Which ones you add, it's up to you, but you can also explore others. And remember, a resource like W3 Schools and Learning CSS, and you can just go to CSS text and explore the different properties, as well as CSS fonts to explore the different properties. All right, let's go ahead and just do a little exploration on our own, and we're going to continue with the H1. And let's just start by adding, maybe some, let's go after letter spacing here, and we'll add text decoration. And you can add, I believe none is the default, and you can add overline, line hyphen through, and underline. Let's do underline. Okay. And right after this, let's add a text transform. And for our text transform, you could choose uppercase, lowercase, or you could capitalize. Let's go uppercase. And then let's add a text shadow. Like so. Text shadow. And then what we're going to do is make sure I have a colon here. Your text shadow, what you're going to do is you're going to call out the distance on the X, the distance on the Y, and then the color you want to do. So the first value, let's say we go, I don't know, let's just go 4px on the x-axis. So the x-axis will be this way, horizontally. Then we'll have a space, and let's go 4px on the y-axis. So the y-axis will be like this, vertically. And then we will call out our color. And let's just try, I don't know, we have our color picker available to us. So I don't recall, let's see, we're going to have to go with sort of a lighter color on this darker gray background. So let's just go with almost a white, like so, not quite white. So we'll select our hexadecimal here and go back to our pen, and we'll paste in our color, make sure we have our semicolon, and we'll go ahead and save. So we should have an underline under our text, we should have uppercase text, and we should have a text drop shadow, or a text shadow. So again, just to be on the safe side, we'll save, and let's refresh. And you see that we have that drop shadow. Okay, now it's a little harsh that far down, so let's go back and we'll only make this 1 pixel, like so. Then we'll save. We'll take a look. Okay, all right, so using various text properties, and we also can add some CSS font properties. All right, so let's go ahead and we will select, let's just target one of the p tags. Now I'm going to target this p tag. There's other p tags, so if we use p as the selector, then all of the p tags will take on the same characteristics. So let's add a class to this. So we'll do class equals, and this is the toughest part, is coming up with a name which is descriptive for the class or for the content which you're targeting. So let's just call this, I don't know. Let me think about this for a second. All right, I have a good idea. How about we add more than one class to this p tag, okay? Because I don't believe we've done that yet. So this would be a good example. All right, so how about we make a class that we call word spacing, like so, okay? Now I'm going to make sure I don't misspell this, so I'm just going to select my class, okay? And we'll come over to our CSS. I'll just scroll down a little bit, and let's add dot, because this will represent class, and then I'll paste in word spacing, and we will add our opening and closing curly braces, and we're going to use the word spacing property. So word spacing, and we can use an amount. So let's just try 10 pixels, and we'll go ahead and save. Let's take a look. Let's go ahead and scroll down. And you'll see that we have added spacing between our words. So, not saying it's a good idea to add this much word spacing. It's more of an example that you can. All right, so let's go back to our pen. And now what we're going to do is let's adjust the line height. So I'm going to add a new rule, and this will be dot line height, like so. We'll add our curly braces, and let's set our line height. This is also set to a value. So line height, colon, and I don't believe we have set a font size, so it's probably going on the default font size, which would be 16 pixels more than likely. So let's go with 22 pixels, like so, okay? And then what we're going to do is come back to our class, and we can add more than one class, all right? So all we have to do is add a space, and now we will type in line height. Now, again, classes are user defined. I'm just using line height and or word spacing because after thinking about it, they're very descriptive of what it is we're doing. Okay, so hopefully it's not confusing that we're using this as a class name and we're using, we're actually using the CSS property of the same name. I'm just trying to do it so these are descriptive and it's clear what's being demonstrated. All right, so now we have line height added, so let's save. And just take a note here, a visual note of the space between the lines, and let's go ahead and update. And you'll see now that we have space between our lines of text. All right, let's go back. And now let's create a new rule. And on this one, let's do dot font variant. And we'll add our curly braces. And our font variant will either be normal or small caps. So let's see what happens if we put small caps on this. Small hyphen caps, semicolon. Now we have to go and add yet a third class. Okay, so we're adding each of these classes individually. Or we could have added one single class and then just had each of these properties in that class. So you kind of see that you can build something in a modular way, okay, which is cool. All right, so let's go ahead and add that third, and that third is font variant. And make sure I spelt this correct. All right, and we will save. And then let's go ahead and take a look. So we will just sort of get a picture for what this looks like. Let's go ahead and refresh. And then we'll scroll down and you'll see that now we have all small caps. Okay. All right. So working with text decoration, text transform, and a host of other CSS text properties and CSS font properties.